Okay, so next on our agenda we have applications of quadratics, which are word problems, and it says a ball is thrown vertically upward. So if you're a person and you're throwing a ball and you're going to throw it something like this, after t seconds, its height in feet is given by this equation, and it's quadratic, obviously, because when you throw it, it has to go up some height and then come back down some height. Okay, so at what height is the ball thrown from? Well, that is typically a initial value. And so if you wanted to find the height where it's thrown from, you're going to put t because 0 seconds have passed when it's been thrown. So you have negative 16 times 0 squared plus 96 times 0 plus 6, which means 6 feet. So this person is 6 feet tall, or they're at least throwing it from here, and there's 6 feet. Okay. So if you want to find an initial value, you plug in 0 for the x value, or t in this case, and that will tell you how high off the ground the thing is. How long does it take for the ball to reach the highest point? Well, that would be what we call the vertex. And remember, since t is the time and h is the height, they want to know the vertex for t. Well, we have a formula for doing that. We used it a minute ago. We said x equals negative b over 2a. Well, that's t in this case. So t equals negative 96 over negative 2 times, over 2 times negative 16, which gives negative 96 over negative 32, which is equal to 3 seconds. So it's a 3 second, it travels this way 3 seconds. Okay. And what is the maximum height? Well, that would be also here, but that would be the height at that time. So we know the time is at 3 seconds, so let's plug that in. We have negative 16 t squared, which is going to be three squared, 96 times 3 plus 6. And I'm going to use my calculator for this. I think it's 150, but we have 9 times negative 16, 144 plus 96 times 3, 144, so that's 288, yeah. So this is negative 144, this is 288, and 6, so this is 150 feet. Okay, so next it's talking about when will the ball hit the ground. Well, that would be over here, right? Well, if you throw it from here and it goes over here, these are what are called the zeros. So if we set this thing equal to 0. Okay, why am I setting it equal to 0? It will hit the ground when the height of it is at 0, that's why. So that's one way to think about it. 0 equals negative 16 t squared plus 96t plus 6. Okay, so why did I write plus 6? That's weird. Sorry, plus 6. Oh, that's a t, that's why. That's not a plus sign. Okay. How do we do this? Let's use quadratic formula. Actually, no, let's not, because that's going to be gross. I think we can do this. I thought 8 went into this, but I guess 2 does. So let's factor out 2. Negative 2. Negative 2, and this is 8t squared plus 48t plus 3 equals 0 divided by negative 2. Okay, so then 8t squared plus 48t plus 3. I think this factors nicely. I'm almost positive of that. So if we do this, this is going to be 8t, 8t, 24t squared. Actually, we don't need the t squared up there. 24 and 48. Multiplies to 24, but adds up to 48. I don't know. Does anything do that? 24 and 1? No. I guess there's not. Okay, so we can't use this. Let's use quadratic formula. T equals negative 48 plus or minus the square root of 48 squared minus 4 times 8 times 3 all over 2 times 8. Now the answer is going to be about 6. So this is going to be about 3 in here. So let's do this real quick. This is going to be negative 48 plus or minus the square root. So this is divided by 16. This is divided by 16. I'm just separating them. Let's see what 48. Squared minus 32 times 3. Then we square root that. So this is 46.98. Oh, I'm sorry. No. That's not that. That is 2208. Oh, I just realized something. This should have been negative. This should be negative. This should be negative, and I factored wrong. This should be negative. That should be negative. Sorry about that. This should be negative. So this is positive. Let me fix this. This is 48 squared plus 32 times 3. Okay, sorry. This is 2400. Sorry about that, guys. So this turns out to be 2400. We take the square root of 2400. This is 40. Okay, so this is positive. So this is 3 plus or minus 48.98 over 16, which is about 3. 3 plus or minus 3. So then we get about 6 seconds. Sorry about that. I totally forgot I factored out a negative, and I forgot to take the negatives from these. And the only reason I realized that, this is why, is because this was a negative 3, and I know that the time couldn't be negative 3. It has to match, because remember, this is negative b over 2a, which we found earlier, which was 3 seconds right here. This should always match that if you use the quadratic formula. Okay. At what time will the ball be 86 feet? Well, I don't know. Let's try it. 86 equals... So obviously, if you're throwing this ball, here's 86 feet, here's 86 feet. There will be 2 times. Negative 16t squared plus 96 plus 6. So we subtract 86. 16t squared plus 96t minus 80. Let's set that equal to 0, and then we have, we're going to factor out a negative 16. Negative 16 gives us t squared. 96 divided by 16 is 6. So t squared minus 6t plus 5. So this is gone. So then this factors nicely as 5 and negative 6. That is going to give us negative 5 and negative 1. So t minus 5, t minus 1. So that says at 1 second. So this is when t equals 1 or 5. So t is equal to 1 or 5 seconds. That's when this is the height is 86 feet. Okay, now you might wonder, why did I set this equal to 0 and solve it? I set it equal to 0 because when I plug this in and I move it over, you're basically making the ground up at 86 feet by doing this. And so if you set it equal to 0 and you solve it that way, you will be able to figure out what heights that is. Now there's a little bit of a trick to this. If it's talking max or min, if it says max time or max or min, this is a vertex. Okay. And so you want to find the vertex, and you want to find either the x or the y. If it's the formula is asking for something related to the x, then it's obviously the x, and they just want you to use x equals negative b over 2a. If they ask for y, then you still have to do x, but then you also have to do x equals, you do f of negative b over 2a, which is y value when you plug this value into that. Okay. If they ask you a time when it hits the ground or something like that, that's a 0. You use factoring, you use quadratic formula, you use anything that will tell you the 0. If they ask a specific height, same thing. And if they ask an initial height, you plug in 0 to the original equation and you look for the value that is given. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing well.